My name is Hal Dilger. I worked with Bill Maher, Hangar 45.
What was CCAD's mission during the Vietnam War? What were their primary function?
Primary function of CCAD back in those days, or RADMAC when I hired in, was the fact that any shot-up aircraft that was brought back from Vietnam, aircraft as well as fixed wing as well as rotary wing, was brought back to CCAD. And helicopters just evolved. That would be the main aircraft to be worked on.
What information did CCAD ever provide you about working with toxic chemicals?
The only thing that I can recall any time from the cleaning shop was the fact that they didn't want any kind of a toxic material going down the sewer, down the drain. As far as education regarding what the materials are and how dangerous or how normal they would be, do not recall any kind of information along that line.
Did they ever provide you any protective clothing?
It came with shoes that were protective for dropping things on, and safety glasses. That was it. That was the sum total of what we were issued.
Did they ever tell you to not wash your clothes or their family's clothes?
Never a word along that. Anything outside the base was off the grounds outside of CCAD was your business. They didn't give any instructions, recommendations, nothing. All right, I hired in to RADMAC is what it was called back in the 60s as a W5 helper. And being a W5 helper, I was relegated over to the disassembly shop along with most other new hirees. No education regarding contaminants, anything about poisons or anything along that line was never told to anybody. I was in that area for about 6 months before I promoted out, because when I was hired in, I had an A&P license, the ability to work on aircraft. I had an inspector's license, but I still got hired in as a W5 helper. But when the supervisors learned what I had in my pocket, that's when I transported out. I promoted out. From that time on, I was in quality control, in maintenance, in production control, different facets like that. I can't believe that some of the things that we did back in those days were done, but they were. But as far as protection from Agent Orange or any kind of information regarding poisons that were coming on some of the aircraft, we didn't know anything about it. Rat poison, blocks of rat poison, yes, because some of the aircraft came back with bits and pieces of people, of the troops, and of course the rats and the flies hung around that, and that would tell you where some of this stuff was. But we also had problems with the shells, with the rounds of ammunition. Some were spent, some were not spent, but these things managed to work their way down into unbelievable places. And we were told just to collect them and turn them over to an armorer, and he took care of the unspent shells. After working in disassembly for a while, I transferred over into just a basic mechanic. Went from mechanic to quality control. Went from quality control to production control, and spent the last 15 years of my 25 years of working at CCAD in lower management. That's what I retired out at, in lower management, in 1988. So I was working there from 65 to 88.
Do you feel CCAD contaminated you and your family?
Yes, I have no doubt in my mind that I was contaminated. Even though I wasn't boots on the ground in Vietnam, I got contaminated with Agent Orange in Hangar 45. And like I said, I was there just a short time. I know many, many people who are now passed away who were there for much longer periods of time than I was. I was one of the lucky ones to get out.
What do you want the base to do? Oh, okay.
I want the base to acknowledge the fact that the Agent Orange with the dioxin component was the poison that caused everybody their problems. Dioxin is not water soluble. Apparently most people don't seem to know that. And any washing machine, anything that clothes are put in that has dioxin in it or on it will contaminate.